Okay, so now we're continuing with the radial name. You should have gotten your project to this point where you outlined everything neatly with a thin Sharpie, and now you're going to go through and add color. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use cool colors in the background, the negative space, and I think I'm going to use warm colors on the letters on this particular one. So I want you to think of how you want yours to look. Like, are you going to use an analogous color scheme? Those are colors that next to each other on the color wheel. Are you going to try to use complementary colors? Those are colors opposite each other on the color wheel. Are you going to use triadic colors that create an equilateral triangle on the color wheel? Are you going to use a monochromatic color scheme, which are tints and shades of one color? Or you could do like I did on the last project, where I did every color of the color wheel, but I tried to put the complementary color behind the color, behind each color. Okay, so what I want to do, I like to leave a little border around mine. So I am going to I'm going to draw a line where I want that white border to stay. And you need to do it lightly. I have to do mine a little darker, so hopefully y'all can see it, which is very hard to see. I don't want you to outline this with Sharpie at this point. You can later, but not at this point. You can use the Sharpie to clean things up at the end. Okay, now let's see. I think I would like for this part to be, I don't know, I think I'm going to do a little bit of blend in with green and yellow. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to outline my colors. Now I'm just going to blend this in some. And I want it to get lighter in the middle. I'm using the side of my marker. When I get towards the edge, I use the point. I kind of color in little circles, but that's just because I'm doing this like a watercolor technique. Alright, then I'm going to take some yellow because I want it to have more of a, maybe some yellow green with it, but I'm going to fill it in with yellow. It's kind of rough right now, but when I blend it together, I think it'll look nicer. So now I gotta make sure I have my paper towel. And I'm gonna blend these colors together. You have to be careful around the edges because it'll try to bleed past where you want it to be. Don't put too much water on it because it really will bleed past. And then I'm going to pick up some of that color in the middle so it'll look a little lighter. And if you want it to be even lighter, and put a little bit more water down. And pick up more of that color with your paper towel. Okay? Now I'm going to go I think I want to do like a blue-green back here now. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think I'm gonna, oh shoot, there goes my border. I forgot about leaving my border, but I can go back and patch that up. I've got a little white paint pen that I can fix that. Actually, I think this one's just going to be green. And I think this one will be blue-green, this layer. Okay, so then I'm going to take my paintbrush. Make sure you have your paper towel ready to go to blot it up. You want to be neat with it. Put the water down on it, let it sit for a second. And then pick up some of the color. It was kind of like a little butterfly. Alright, so now I want to do like a blue-green inside here. This time I remember to leave my border. Like I said, you don't have to leave a white border. I just want the white border. And now I'm going to put blue. Now I'm going to take my my paintbrush, and I'm going to blend it. And then pick up color. Okay. So what I'm planning on is everything on this layer will be green, and then everything around here will be blue-green. And then I think my letters will be close to the complementary color of, like, this is supposed to be more yellow-green, but it looks really green. So this might be, let's see, what's directly across from yellow-green? That would be red. I probably will use red, violet, and red on my letters right here. So let me show you what I'm talking about with that. So when I say red, violet, that means I'm going to use pink with it. So I'll start out with, I'm not going to use a border on my letters. You want to try to stay inside the lines. Take your time on it. turn it if you have to. Oh, one outside the lines. Okay, so now I'm going to use the red because it's right next to green. I mean, it's across from green, and color in the rest of these are my P's of my name. So you can see that I'm thinking about what colors I'm going to use and what's next to each other. The fact that the cool colors are in the background and the warm colors are on the letters will make the letters pop. Be very neat. The table is squeaking. Can y'all hear that? So I'm going to go ahead and blend this side so y'all can see how to do it, and then I'll let y'all go to work on your own. I just like the way the water makes it look. The camera doesn't really show how nice it looks with the water, but it does show you how to do it. I got to make sure I have my paper towel ready. And if your paper towel is getting saturated, you want to make sure that you get you a new paper towel. Okay, and then pick up any color so it'll give it highlights. Like I like to put water down the center of the letters and then pick it up so it'll look like it's going to be three-dimensional, be darker around the edges. Now make sure you don't, when you use your markers, don't use it on top of wet because it'll ruin your markers. Okay? All right, I'm going to turn this off. I think you know the technique I'm using now. So have at it and continue to work on it through tomorrow. All right. Bye.